The military top brass tend to stay out of political controversies, at least in public. Senior officers have plenty to say behind the scenes, but they're expected to keep their political views to themselves in public. Now, the most senior of them all, the Chief of the General Staff, Gen Sir Nicholas Houghton, no less, has broken that convention with an attack on Jeremy Corbyn. And Mr Corbyn has demanded an investigation into whether his position has been compromised. It was an interview that Mr Corbyn did with Sarah at the Labour conference in September that made the General so cross. She'd asked Mr Corbyn whether he'd be prepared to press the nuclear button if he became Prime Minister. Well, I'm joined by a man who's lived in both areas, as it were, Admiral Lord West. He was the Chief of the Naval Staff and now, of course, in the House of Lords, takes the Labour whip, and Dr Kate Hudson, CND General Secretary. Kate Hudson?
Well, I think it's one thing to have a discussion about deterrence theory, and of course there is a pretty major discussion about Trident raging across the country, across the different political parties. Labour's going to be going into its own policy review, which will include this. So it's a topic that everyone's discussing. But I think that for that very senior military figure then to say something which effectively sounded like if Jeremy Corbyn became Prime Minister, he would have concerns, that's completely unacceptable. And of course, it's not the first time since Jeremy's become leader that a military person has made this kind of remark. There was the anonymous general's remark a few weeks ago, said there would be a mutiny if Jeremy became Prime Minister. And I think what people have to remember is that it is the British people who choose the party and choose the policies and choose the Prime Minister. And if a particular military person doesn't like it, well, really, that's hard luck. They are there to serve the government of the day that is put in place by the British people. So whatever anyone's views about nuclear weapons, and that's fine for people to hold their views, this comes down for me to a question of democracy.
And you would accept the principle of what Kate Hudson said?
Well, I have to say I was shocked when I heard that a general had actually said what had been said. I assumed that was correct reporting, and I was shocked by that because, without a doubt, it is the job of our military to do what they're told by the government. This country is ruled by a civilian government, and that is the job of the military. And completely wrong to suggest for a second. I mean, nothing like that has happened since, the English Civil War. This is not the way our military behave, and that is a completely different issue.
And Kate Hudson, what about your position? What about CND's position? I mean, obviously, unilateral nuclear disarmament about the remains, nothing will change that.
No, of course not. I mean, that's what CND was founded for in 1958. But I think what's very interesting is how the debate has shifted on this, particularly over the last decade since the Trident replacement question first came up in 2007. Next year, Parliament will decide on whether or not Trident should be replaced. And that is a decision for Parliament, whether or not it will be replaced.
And it will happen, won't it? It will be replaced.
Well, that is up to Parliament to decide. And, of course, there is a debate going on in the Labour Party currently, and I think Maria Eagle is shortly going to be announcing the exact process by which that will take place. She talked yesterday about the National Policy Forum process and so on. I don't think it's right for the media or anyone else to preempt what the outcome of that important national decision will be.
I think you would agree that we have an obligation to discuss it.
To discuss it and be even-handed about it.
Right. There we are. Kate Hudson and Lord West, thank you both very much indeed.
Thank you very much.